Initial thoughts on the upcoming series?
Yeah, big one. They're all big. Certainly we've pinned ourselves in a corner where we need to really do well. So just can't make anything more about it than what it is, other than just go play good baseball. And if you want to extend your season, beyond a conference tournament, then need to start stacking some wins on top of each other. So we'll get Nathan out there on tomorrow night. He had a good bullpen this week, and I think the last two outings, each one's been better than the one before it. So hopefully that can get us going. But Mississippi State's coming off, playing with a lot of confidence, playing with a lot of momentum, and home crowd. I'm sure they'll do their senior day and stuff like that. So looking forward to a great atmosphere and another exciting weekend in this league.
I know you mentioned at least the series before last, Brandon Garcia's kind of been the key to unlocking some moves around what is it about his game that kind of emerged through that time?
Super confident. Yeah, just has gone from a very unconfident guy, not sure he could compete at this level, never really had a great numbers at Quinnipiac, but had great stuff. And for whatever reason, now Coach Yeski's done a good job with him. He's got a lights-out breaking ball. He's commanding his fastball, throwing to the bottom of the strike zone. He wants the ball all the time. And that's been a real highlight between him and Aschenbeck. It's been a real highlight.
Coach, I know you've said in recent weeks you don't pay attention to postseason projections, but headed into this last weekend, other than winning each game, what do you think needs to be done to help your resume?
I don't know what else we can do. I mean, that's all we can control is try to win ball games, and I mean, we know how good the league is perceived, but we just need to win as many ball games as we can, and both in the on the weekend series and in the conference tournament. So I can't control what goes on in different parts of the country, resumes and stuff like that. I mean, we need to give people a reason to vote to put us in the NCAA tournament, and there's nothing that says we can't just keep winning and make that a sure thing, even make it a sure thing in terms of winning the conference tournament. So that'd be an uphill battle, especially having to play on Tuesday to start the week. But it's been done. I don't know if it's been done before, but it can always be done for the first time. So we just got to win games. We can't. I don't know what else there's nothing else we can do, because that involves other teams that we don't coach or play for.
I know you said Nathan on Thursday. Have you announced starting?
Haven't yet. I'm sure Will Johnson will get a start this weekend, but we're obviously in a position where we got to do whatever we can to win the game that we have our grip on, which is what we did on Friday against Alabama, and then it went backwards the rest of the weekend. So we're going to need some pitchers to perform better than they've performed this season, and Mississippi State's, they're still on the mat. They have an opportunity to play their way in, right? I think into the SEC tournament. So, and once you get in the tournament, then anything can happen. So it's going to be a dogfight.
What's kind of been your message to the guys in this like leading up to the end of the regular season? Because maybe it isn't how they wanted it to go.
Yeah.
But a lot of it being like you can get hot at any time. But now it's probably the best time.
Yeah, I just told him, after the game the other night, he's like, you can sit and cry and moan about it, or you can do something about it, and that includes the coach. Includes me too, and coaching staff too. All I know, I told you in 2015 and 16, I'm at TCU, and A&M has unbelievable teams, and they don't find their way to Omaha. In 2017, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the greatest season here, and they slid their way into a regional, won the regional. We're getting ready to head to North Carolina to play a national seed, and Davidson won that regional, and A&M ended up, I'm sure their seniors thought when the regular season ended, they were never going to get to play a game in this ballpark again, and they ended up getting to play a super regional and getting to go to the College World Series. So, we can write whatever story we want to write. Of course, the other team's going to have a vote in that too. But, if you start carrying the weight of the negatives of a season, then the season's going to end quick. Just go play, and we've put in the work. These guys, they're good kids. They've put in the work, and we just need to go play good baseball and play it over 3 days, not just for a day.
Going back to Brandon, I know you mentioned some of the qualities, but what was it about him that attracted y'all to him when y'all were looking at him in the portal?
Yeah, big, strong lefty with a really good arm. Showed signs of a good breaking ball. Coach Yeski, felt like through the video and the analytics and different things that everybody has access to these days, that he could be a guy that we could coach up, and if we just get him through the draft, which we almost lost him there. And then once you get him down here, and you never really know a player until you get to coach him. Even during the visit, that's just you don't get to look behind the curtain and see what somebody's really about. And Brandon has a really good heart. He works really hard. He means well. He wants to do well. And it was just a big adjustment to come here and pitch in the limelight of this program, the limelight of this league. And now he's grown into that. So I'm really proud of him.
And you kind of mentioned needing to take wins when you have them. Is this a situation kind of like postseason where you might go back to some arms if need be later in the series that might have already thrown?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we're not going to hurt anybody, but,
right.
I would think we'd have to use the guys who give us the best chance to win a couple different times, but this is also about the offense. This is not just on the pitching staff. You could make an argument, we had planned going into this season, we didn't sign other than Haas, right? We didn't sign any other transfer portal guys because we felt like that the returning position players could cover up the offensive losses of Dylan Rock, Troy Claunch, even Kaler in terms of getting on base. And that hasn't happened yet. And so, those guys need to perform too, There have been games, whether it be during the week or on the weekend, where we've pitched enough. And, of course, last year on a Sunday, we'd score 12, 15 runs and beat up the other team's pitching staff. So, and we're still capable of that. But it better happen this weekend, or it better happen real quick.
Any different tendencies you've seen from their pitching staff since they made their coaching change, and how they're kind of going about it?
I don't think so. I think they just they're just battling like everybody else. They have some down the line guys that I think weren't counting on pitching a ton. They've had some injuries, and now the guys who have had to pitch are getting more and more experience, and they're shuffling guys in and out of there, kind of like we are. And so they had a great weekend. It's anytime you win 2 out of 3 at LSU's good, and then the third game you're down 13-4 and come back and win that game. So I'm sure they have a lot of momentum. They canceled their midweek game. Somebody last year caught a lot of heat for that. I don't know who it was, but yeah, they canceled their midweek game, so they're loaded for bear for the weekend.
You ever had to go up against an ambidextrous pitcher?
No, I haven't. I can't remember that. So that'll be interesting. I've watched him on video, and he's a good athlete and young player. So that'll be interesting to watch over the course of his time in the conference.
Anything else, guys?
Yeah. Great. Thanks, guys.
All right. See y'all.